Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up?
Lots to talk about. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Also, join our Discord. Link is in the description. If you have any questions you want to chat with us, we'll be there. Let's get into it. Alrighty. So I think a hot topic is these rookies. The rookie class is just phenomenal. They're doing great right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a conversation going around. I feel like a couple weeks ago, ESPN put out their top 10 rookies based on like stats, like this complicated stat analysis, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I think a lot of people were shocked. So I'll read the first one for ESPN. It was Cameron Brink was number 1, Angel Reese number 2, Kate Martin number 3, Rakia Jackson number 4, Julie Van Loo number 5, and Caitlin Clark was number 6. So that came out a couple weeks ago, and I was shocked. I didn't know, but we're there. But then other media platforms started to come out with their own top 5 rookies. Okay,
Yeah.
so the most recent one was New York Times. They came out with their top 5 rookies, and they are Angel Reese, Aaliyah Edwards, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, and Rakia Jackson in that order. USA Today also came out with one, and it was also Angel Reese leading, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Kate Martin, and Rakia Jackson. So within the last couple of weeks, people have been coming out with their own top 5 rankings. And before we rank ours, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about why I feel like Angel Reese is definitely top 2. And in a lot of people's rankings, she's number 1. So
Uh-huh.
what are you seeing that other people are also seeing from Angel Reese this season?
She's being efficient. I mean, she's grabbing boards. She's got a few blocks, points. She's got a lot of double doubles this season so far. So yeah, I mean, for her position, that's what you look for. You look for someone that can grab the boards, play good D, and then when they need to score, they're scoring. So I mean, I know the comparison, it really comes down who's more efficient between her and Angel and Caitlin Clark lately, but they played 2 different positions.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark's a guard where you need her to score. Mm-hmm. Where Angel Reese, I mean, she doesn't have to be the go-to to score, but she's doing everything else she's supposed to for her position, grabbing the boards, playing good D, blocking, all that. So yeah, I mean, it's tough, but yeah, we'll get into it. Let me hear your opinion first, and then we'll get into our opinions of who should be on there.
Yeah, so definitely I feel like Angel Reese's consistency is why she lands at the number 1 spot. And it's just amazing. There was a clip that actually came out. It was an interview a while ago with Asia Wilson, and Asia was basically saying how her grabbing the boards is going to be, very important in the league. And she's shown that. It's translated from college to the league very well.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going under the radar, obviously. Everything Angel Reese is doing, I feel like it's being overshadowed by Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's nice seeing that people are recognizing Angel Reese for what she's doing. Consistency. Yeah. I feel like I want to read her last couple of games. Okay, so let's just read her point. Let's just read her stat line for the month of June. Okay? So beginning of June, so we got 8 points, 13 rebounds, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 16 points, 11 rebounds, 13 points, 13 rebounds, 20 points, 10 rebounds. I mean, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 11 points, 13 rebounds, a double-double. She's on a streak right now. And it's just, I feel like it's low-key going unnoticed. But I really do think she's a favorite right now to win Rookie of the Year. And I'm not trying to discredit Caitlin Clark. I just think Angel Reese's consistency is the deciding factor right now that's separating her and Clark.
Right.
Go ahead.
I think that's why ESPN's list was so different than New York Times and USA, because I think when they were ranking it, everyone was like, wow, Caitlin Clark's 6 on their list? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. But I think they're looking at percentages, right?
Yeah,
they're looking at the percent of how many shots Caitlin Clark's putting up to how many she's making, right? Compared to Angel Reese, Kate Martin. I think Kate Martin was 3 on that list. And it's because Kate Martin's taking less shot, but she's being more efficient with the shots she's taking. So you do have to consider all of that. But you also have to consider all the other factors that tie into the team. What does the team need? The Fever need Caitlin Clark to put up those many shots
Mm-hmm.
because they need her to score that many points. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a different it's kind of different team needs. I mean, they're
Yeah.
both teams are kind of struggling, right?
Mm-hmm.
They both are trying to figure out rotations and stuff.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, I think, and Angel Reese, they're the ones out of the everyone on that list who's gotten the most consistent play time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cameron Brink too, but she's been struggling a lot with fouls. So
Yeah.
it's been affecting her minutes lately.
Yeah.
But everyone else has been like, it depends on the rotation for that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
all of that comes into play.
Yeah, no, exactly. And with that said, I'm glad to see Aaliyah Edwards on New York Times top 5.
Right.
The only reason that, we didn't see a lot of Aaliyah Edwards is because a Healthy Washington has Brittany Sykes, Shakira Austin on it, right?
Right.
And with Brittany Sykes and Shakira Austin's absence, we're able to see Aaliyah Edwards and highlight, what she's able to do on the floor.
Uh-huh.
So, I feel like that goes unnoticed. And now that Sykes is, going to be out even longer, we're going to see a more consistent Aaliyah Edwards, which is going to be another name in the, in the race for Rookie of the Year. But with that said, let's go over our top 5. Because I think I still struggle with the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Just certain players, like I could flip-flop, I can exchange. But as of right now, we'll go back and forth for our ones. Right now, for me, if the season ended right now, it would be Angel Reese. Angel Reese would be my top 1 right
Agreed.
now. Yeah. My number 2, I feel like you can't not say Caitlin Clark. Just because of her impact on the game. It's not like she's doing horrible. Yes, she's inconsistent. Like, I see that. But her expectations are higher than the rest. Not using that as an excuse. I feel like that was just an excuse I just said. But what she could do.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Her team needs her to take on that big of a role compared to Chicago. They're not looking for Angel Reese to be that ball in her hands when the time's going down, So
yeah. And I want to take a full body work. Like, I'm not saying just June, because June's been a struggle for Caitlin Clark. It's not. May was great. May, she had a really good season. Not a really good season. Really good stat line in May. So
we're looking at the start of the season
till now. Exactly. Yeah. So for me, it'd be Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Would you
right
there?
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets a little shaky for me, because I feel like my next 3. I'll give you my next 3. For me, it's not in order. This is who I'm debating: Cameron Brink, Rickea Jackson, Aaliyah Edwards. Now, the reason I don't know who to put at 3 is because Rickea Jackson and Aaliyah Edwards started to shine a little bit more in the last couple of weeks. Cameron Brink's always been involved with LA, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking, if it ended right now, I really was impressed how Brink started off hotter. She started off pretty good. She started off pretty hot. The fouls, that's just a growing pain. You're gonna she'll figure it out. So if we did recent performance, I think it would be Aaliyah Edwards. Like, if we were just like the last couple of games, if I had to rank those 3, for me, Aaliyah Edwards would be ahead of those 2.
Mm-hmm.
But full body work, that's what I'm thinking again. I think it would be Cameron Brink, Aaliyah Edwards, Rickea Jackson. But I think as Rickea Jackson continues to get the starting minutes, dude, she's gonna be so good. Like, these top 5 rookies right here, I think the race is gonna be closer as the season goes on, which is awesome. I hate, like, the last couple years have been a runaway. Everyone knows who's gonna get Rookie of the Year, but I think this season in particular, as the season goes on, the race is gonna get super, super close, and I love that. And I just think right now, I hate putting Rickea Jackson at the 5. I think those 3 can continue to fight each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're struggling because, like you said, it's still so early in the season, guys. Like, we're trying to assume how the rest of the season's going to play out, but with injuries and different things, like, there's still so much season left.
Exactly.
For me, I kind of resonated the most with the New York Times one, other than Caitlin being 3rd. So I would just switch Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Edwards. So it'd be Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Edwards, Cameron Brink, Rickea Jackson for me.
Okay.
But like I said, we're still so early. Obviously, in the past couple of weeks, we've seen Rickea Jackson really blossom, right?
Yeah.
And also, I feel like, we can't overlook Julie Van Loo and
Mm-hmm.
Kate Martin, right? Because Julie, with this Sykes injury, she's
Mm-hmm.
just going to continue to get playtime. And
Yeah.
she has been efficient.
Yeah.
Like, she is a good facilitator. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing is she's not as scoring as much as everyone else. But if
Yeah.
that were to change, then you could see her bumping up in the stats. And then Kate Martin, her thing is just consistency. But
Yeah. And
it
playtime.
also goes into whether or not she gets the playtime that game, if she's
Yeah.
really looking for her shot that game, a lot
Yeah.
of different factors. But it's still early, guys. These
Yeah.
are pre-predictions. I would say though the New York Times was
The
where
most
I'm at
where you're
mindset.
at.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it because Cameron Brink kind of started to dwindle a little bit in
It's just the
efficiency
foul
or
trouble. Yeah. And
yeah, the
there's
foul
gonna
trouble?
for every rookie, there's gonna be that up and down, right?
Yeah.
We see it with Rakia. Rakia didn't start as strong as Cameron, but now she's
Doing
soaring.
great.
She's
Yeah.
starting. She's looking great out there. So
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be fluctuation. And
Yeah.
the reason I put Cameron Brink over Rakia is because I still think that Cameron's gonna figure it out
Yeah.
on the defensive end to limit the fouls.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a shot blocker, rebounder, and scorer. So triple threat, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I see her bouncing back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely hard. It's definitely tough to think about just because they're all
Yeah.
doing so well. But yeah, I'm curious to see how the Rookie of the Year race ends up. Still got a lot of games to play. But let us know what you guys think. Who are your top 5 rookies right now? It is a tough question. I could flip-flop those 5 names for real. I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah.
But okay, let's head into the week 5 WNBA recap. Okay, let's start with the news. Some injuries, some injury updates. Chelsea Gray is back, kind of active, but not playing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little strategy from the Aces, I guess. Not really working. No, I'm just like, if you guys are new here, I'm an Aces fan. I know I'm wearing a Fever shirt, but it's a Leah Boston shirt. So I'm a Leah Boston fan. But anyways, side note, what do you think they're doing with Chelsea Gray? Is it strategy? Is it they're just trying to feel it out or what?
I think it's if they were to get ahead and there was time for her to get in, I think it was just so that she's available to have that option. But I think they're just being very hesitant. I know with the New York game the other day, it was just too close of a game to try to put her in and make too much pressure, right? You can't put her in a game where it's that close the entire game. It didn't really stretch until the end of the third, fourth. So I'm happy to see she's active, right?
Yeah.
One step at a time. I think they're just being super cautious. They're still middle of the pack. So I see if they were like a little bit lower and like really struggling, then I would think that they would try to rush it a little bit more. But I think because they're still lingering in that middle of the pack, it's not oh my God, we have to because we're falling out of playoffs kind of thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And it's still pretty early. So, and then she's on the Olympic team. So
yeah,
a lot more factors you have to play with it because I mean everybody wants her to be available for the Olympic team. But I know as the Aces, Aces comes before Olympics, but I think they're just being cautious.
Yeah. Brittany Sykes came back one game, then sprained her foot. That's rough, man. She was balling too that game. She was balling out, man.
It's crazy how that happens too.
I know, it's so unfortunate. They said that it wasn't how do they word it? Like they dodged a bullet, like it could have been worse. So hopefully she'll be back, but still.
Yeah.
Courtney Vandersloot still out with personal reasons. Carly Samuelson, just keep an eye out. I heard that she went to the locker room with a hand injury. They haven't played since that game, so just keep an eye out for that. Niara Sabally still out with her back issue, and then Natasha Howard is expected to be back with July 1. So that'd be good. That's going to be good for Dallas because they are struggling. USA Olympic roster is now official. It's the same as what we talked about last week. I didn't expect any changes anyways. But it was interesting. They said Arike, she basically went on the Nightcap podcast and said that she withdrew her name a couple months ago. So I thought that was interesting. She said there's a lot of politics going into everything and she just wasn't feeling the vibe basically.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you kind of think about that though?
It's interesting.
It is.
It is. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I love Enrique and I think the whole world thought that she was snubbed, like it wasn't considered,
Yeah.
but she withdrew her name,
Well, I
which
know
is
they usually come up with some alternates, some just in case alternates,
yeah,
and they haven't really released who that would be yet. So I wonder if her taking her name out the pool eliminates her from being an alternate too.
probably. I'm
Uh,
guessing so just because I mean she just didn't wasn't vibing with the team and stuff, which is kind of weird, but
but if
hey,
I'm gonna assume anything, I would say Enrique's gonna make All Star, and it's gonna be a show.
yes,
So
that makes the All-Star game a
it
hundred times better.
if it makes that more of a game, I'm all for it.
I know. I agree. I agree. Las Vegas waived Emma Cannon, signed Jessica Carter. Good. We need a center.
Yeah.
We need a center. It's just Asia Wilson's not doing it. De'Arca Hamby signs a 1-year extension with the Sparks. Good for you, girl. Get your bag. Ryan Howard becomes the youngest player in WNBA history to reach 200 career three-pointers, passing Diana Taurasi.
Woo.
Minnesota Lynx are the first team in WNBA history to see all 5 starters put up 14 plus points, 4 plus rebounds, and 1 plus 3-point shot made. That was against the Las Vegas Aces. That was rough. That was crazy. Angel Reese is the first rookie from her draft class with 100 points and 100 rebounds. I'm honestly not surprised.
Yeah.
Chicago Sky become Raising Cane's first WNBA sponsorship. Oh,
Nice.
I didn't know that. That's a good fun fact.
I like seeing that. I like seeing people get involved,
Hmm.
sponsor,
Yeah,
I love to see it.
definitely. Angel Reese and Aaliyah Edwards are currently the only rookies with multiple double doubles with a 20 point and 10 rebound performance and averaging 6 plus rebounds. Good for you too. Diana Taurasi now has 21 games with 20 or more points at age 40 or older, surpassing Michael Jordan for the most of any player in the NBA or WNBA.
Go, go, go,
Good
go,
job,
go, go.
Diana. That's crazy. Asia Wilson extends her 20 plus point streak to I think it's 17.
Yeah.
17.
Woo.
Asia Wilson in 11 games in 2024 is the fastest player in WNBA history to total 300 points, 100 rebounds, 25 plus blocks, and 20 plus steals. Hold on, it keeps going. Angel Reese, I mean not Angel Reese, Asia Wilson already has 6 games of 25 plus points and 10 plus rebounds this season. The record for a full season is 10, which was Brittany Griner in 2021.
All I hope is that they do turn this season around
Yeah,
because she's having such an
such a
MVP
good game a
season,
year.
and
Yeah.
it's going to get overlooked because when you don't have the record to back it up, it's
Yes.
easy for someone on Connecticut, New York, or Minnesota to go ahead and just slide into that spot. So
I
I
know.
just don't want her. I know last year was just a so controversy.
So
Yeah.
horrible.
So, I just hope that their record doesn't
I know. It's crazy. Her stats are just insane.
yeah.
It's insane. Nafisa Collier is now the first player in WNBA history with 30 plus points, 8 plus steals, 5 plus rebounds, and 2 blocks. Wow. Nafisa is also having an MVP season though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And they have the record too. Them in Connecticut and New
Yes.
Yorkers, yeah, they're
Yes,
doing well.
it's gonna be Nafisa. I'm telling you, if Aces don't pick it up, man.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's get into the week 5 recap with some of the top big wins of the week. Let's start off with Washington defeating Atlanta. Good for you, Washington. Brittany Sykes led Washington with 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Errol Atkins, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And Ryan Howard led Atlanta 16 points, 2 rebounds. But before we move on, let's talk about Atlanta a little bit, Megan. What's going on? What's going on over there? What's happening?
No, I mean, is it coaching?
I think.
Because their team is talented, and I don't see how they dropped so drastically from last year. It's not like their team really changed up.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
you got Canada, but she hasn't even played yet.
Yeah.
So you're really still working with some core players that you had from last year, but they just look like they're not gelling, like they're not on the same page. And
I
I mean,
don't. Yeah.
yeah, Alicia Gray. I mean, come on, girl. You're my girl, and you're not performing like you used to. So I don't
Okay,
know.
last year I think was an outlier. I think she's been
You think so?
she's been fine this year. I think she's been fine.
Yeah.
I don't think Tanisha Wright's gonna make it out of this season. as their head coach. I really don't. They have too much talent for them to be performing like this.
Yeah.
Minnesota defeats Las Vegas 100-86. Minnesota was led by Alana Smith, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Kayla McBride, 16 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Asia Wilson led Las Vegas, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. We talk about it every week. We love Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm just talking for, I don't know if you love Minnesota. I'm on the Minnesota train.
They're a good team. They're good. They're deep.
They look good.
Yeah.
They look solid. Like this Commissioner Cup, I'm excited. Like I want to see how they match up to New York.
Yeah.
Because then that'll give me a better gauge of like, okay, like could they make it to the championship? Could they win it? You know?
Yeah.
Indiana defeats Atlanta 91-84. Another Atlanta loss. Indiana though, good for you. Aaliyah Boston, welcome back, baby. 27 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Kelsey Mitchell, 24 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Ryan Howard, again, led Atlanta, 26 points, 2 rebounds. If you're new here, that's what Aaliyah Boston did like every dang game last season for Indiana. And I'm just telling you, Indiana has the talent. Again, another coaching position up in the air right here. Too much talent for this to kind of go to waste. And I just feel like we've always said it. You play through the bigs. The outside opens up for Caitlin Clark. But it's like, you have 2 great bigs. Melissa Smith and Aaliyah Boston. Like, come on now. So I'm curious to see how Indiana fares throughout the rest of the season. They ended up beating Chicago today. This is Sunday. We are recording. Another tough fought game for them. So good for you, Indiana. They're stringing some wins together now. Las Vegas defeats Phoenix 103-99. Asia Wilson led Las Vegas 32 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists. Jackie Young 34 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and Brittany Griner led Phoenix 25 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. I thought we had Jackie Young back until that New York game. But that's the Jackie we need. This is what's wrong with Las Vegas. Right now, without Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum probably have been the most consistent just because Jackie's been dealing with the illness. Like, let's be for real. We need a third person to step up. It can't just be Asia and Kelsey. Like, that's not going to win you games. Like, that's not enough, especially when your bench doesn't do anything. Like, minimal points from, other ancillary players. Like,
well, especially when the other teams nowadays, like, they
got 4. They got 3 to 4 stars on their team.
Yeah, so it has to be more of a team effort now to get these wins, and you see it. Like this league's been way more competitive than we've seen in a long time. So
yep, I agree. I'm glad we squeezed it out against Phoenix. I thought it was gonna help our momentum. It did not, but we did look better than against who we lose to? Was it LA? Oh yeah, we looked bad. Washington defeats Chicago 83-81. Eric Atkins went off for Washington, 29 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Aaliyah Edwards, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. And then for Chicago, Cheney Carter, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
It was a good week for Washington. They got their 2 wins this week.
Good for them. I'm here for it. I feel like, they've been down with their, 0 wins for a little bit. Over there. A lot of injuries. So I'm glad they're getting a couple wins. Chicago, though, changed up their lineup today. They sat DeShields and Dana Evans. I wasn't expecting the Dana Evans sit, but I was expecting the DeShields sit. I don't know why she was a starter. I'm sorry. Maybe the defensive side, but the way Carter's been playing, it was bound for her to break that starting lineup. Like, she was probably 6th player of the year winner at this point if she kept coming off the bench. But they changed it up. They still lost today, but we don't gotta talk about that. But yeah, Chicago there's a lot of, I don't know. What do you think? Like a lot of internal, like they're just not gelling. Like, what do you think about Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, they're a talented team. They've been looking good. They're just close games and they're just not on the right side of the outcome.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a lot of close games. And last bigger win of the week. We have New York defeats Las Vegas 90-82. Jonquel Jones led New York with 34 points, 8 rebounds. Brianna Stewart 14 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals, and Asia Wilson led Las Vegas 21 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Hey, and we've been saying it, if Jonquel is hot, New York is going to win the game. Jonquel is a big factor for New York, and she was on fire. You can't if Jonquel's unstoppable if she decides to be. I feel like there's games that we see where it's like she kind of gives up on herself a little bit, and then it's kind of just like that's it for the rest of the game. But yeah, I mean, besides Jonquel and how Sabrina started the first half, I think Jonquel won them this game. Everyone else was kind of just like, eh. I mean, that's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, no. Jonquel showed up. She was hitting threes.
She was doing everything.
Yeah.
She was doing everything. Jonquel is very important to New York's team. Very important. But other than that, unless I think it's Seattle and Phoenix, unless probably Phoenix upsets Seattle somehow, that'd probably be our biggest another big win for the week. But thank you guys for tuning in. We announced on our live reaction yesterday. We will be going live again on Friday for the Connecticut versus Las Vegas game. That's gonna be interesting. Who do you think Connecticut's gonna just destroy Las Vegas, or like what do you think's gonna happen? Maybe a close game, how like the New York game kind of went. Maybe.
I think it's going to be a close game, but I give Connecticut. Yeah, I think Connecticut has the upside unless Chelsea comes back and just is phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I get it. So tune in that next Friday. We'll be going live, just a live reactions, just because we can't, we can't show the game, copyright issues, but we will be giving our live reactions. But thank you guys again for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.